It's a beautiful snowy day on the homestead. Got about 4 inches of snow last night and it's still snowing, but I'm gonna get on the skid steer and plow our driveway. You know, it's incredible how, as much as I love electric vehicles, I like them for a lot of reasons I've talked about in previous videos, but I really love electric vehicles for the fact that I can produce that energy off-grid and turn it into something like for a machine to use or whatever. I love that. Having said that, it is amazing how still to this day, with the price of fuel as it is, it's amazing how cheap it is to operate these machines. Like this Kubota, which I'm warming up right now as I'm getting ready to go and do some snow management. This thing, for probably a few dollars in fuel, will plow my whole driveway. It takes me 1 hour, because it's a kilometer long, to go down pushing the snow one way and then come up pushing the snow the other way, pushing it a bit back further on the switchbacks. But it's literally like a few dollars of fuel. It's incredible how efficient that is. And yeah, I love it. The machine's a lot of fun. So this thing is getting done. We've got the back wall up now. Got a little hole for my fireplace there. And then we're gonna start doing the front wall here. And that's going to be done with wood. And gonna be a farm door on this side of it, which will just push this way. I don't want to do a garage door because I want to put a mezzanine in here. It's gonna have lots of windows and it'll have a man door here, which is closer to the house. And I don't really plan on putting vehicles in here, but I just put my truck in here just to keep the snow off it so I don't have to wipe that off. And yeah, so that's coming along nicely. Another thing that was sorted out on the homestead recently is I got my water tested down at our drilled well, and so that test came out okay. It said there's some coliforms in the water, but it's not a big deal because coliforms is basically just a measure of general biology, and since we're up high and I'm not downstream from anything where there would be a typical hazard like a coli, if you're downstream from a slurry or, you know, some kind of industrial farm, there's really no biology, what's commonly known as, that would be in the water, so it's not an issue. It's funny with these water testing companies though, how they just give you the sample and everybody's so afraid of liability that nobody wants to say anything. Because I basically asked them like 2 times, I'm like, can't somebody just tell me, is this water safe to drink or not? They would not tell me that. So I reached out to some friends that have had water samples done lots of times and know about biology and more educated with these things than I, and they say it's most likely just totally fine. The variable would be as if you were downstream from something that could potentially be hazardous. So we've got that sorted out. One other thing I just want to mention, I've got my latest episode of Liberty on the Land up. Head over to the BitChute channel, it's up there. I'll leave the link in the notes of this video. Also, all of these are up at libertyontheland.com. And this one was with Tom Barnett, and Tom went viral a little while ago as a guy who knows a lot about health. He's a private health consultant, definitely a student of Rudolf Steiner, very familiar with the, you might be familiar with the work of Rudolf Steiner in biodynamics, and Rudolf Steiner was one of these sort of Renaissance men that actually predicted a lot of things that are now. I want to read you this quote. I'm going to plug it in right here. This is a quote from Steiner over 100 years ago.
In the future, we will eliminate the soul with medicine. Under the pretext of a healthy point of view, there will be a vaccine by which the human body will be treated as soon as possible directly at birth, so that the human being cannot develop the thought of the existence of soul and spirit. To materialistic doctors will be entrusted the task of removing the soul of humanity. As today people are vaccinated against this disease or that disease, so in the future children will be vaccinated with a substance that can be produced precisely in such a way that people, thanks to this vaccination, will be immune to being subjected to the madness of spiritual life. He would be extremely smart, but he would not develop a conscience, and that is the true goal of some materialistic circles. With such a vaccine, you can easily make the etheric body loose in the physical body. Once the etheric body is detached, the relationship between the universe and the etheric body would be extremely unstable, and man would become an automaton, for the physical body of man must be polished on this earth by spiritual will. So the vaccine becomes a kind of aromatic force. Man can no longer get rid of a given materialistic feeling. He becomes materialistic of constitution and can no longer rise to the spiritual. Rudolf Steiner, 1861 to 1925.
Isn't that insane? That how telling that is of today. Anyways, Tom and I talk about that in the podcast, so go check that out. And I'm going to leave it there for now, guys, but I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and like and share them with your friends. All right, talk to you later.